All right, welcome everyone to another episode of the Soup Bowl where we're talking about leading our lives. I am your host, Renee Murdoch, and we're just out here doing life. We're out here in these streets doing life. And so I thank you for going on the journey with me. And I'm thankful that you're tuning in, you're listening, and you're on the ride with me, right? I know we got some ride or dies out there, but thank you for starting out with me. And hey, let's just do life together, right? So again, I don't know what I'm doing. So hey, I thank you for again giving me grace, right, in this space, right? I just felt led, hey, grab the mic, turn it on, get to going. And I tell you, I don't know what I'm doing because I ain't going to tell y'all what I did literally like 30 minutes ago, right? So that's why I'm hitting record again. So, but hey, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good, people. All right, so we're at the beginning of the calendar year, right? The calendar year. Talk about that a little bit. But the calendar year is where people, they're like, yes, I'm going to do it. Let's do this thing. Hey, there's nothing wrong with, looking at the new calendar year and saying what we're going to do and having these fresh starts and new beginnings and things of that nature. There's nothing wrong with that. There is a problem with when you actually make yourself suffer unnecessarily, right? So we do that. I think unintentionally, but I want to help you today to not do it and be a little bit more intentional about what it is that you're saying that you want to change in goal setting, because that's all it is. It's just goal setting, baby. It's just goal setting, right? So I looked up some things because that's just what I do, right? And did you know that there are over 8 billion people in the world? 8 billion people. And in the United States of America, there's over 3 billion people. 3 billion people. Now, the United Nations has already proclaimed or set forth what they believe that it's going to be in 2100. But right now in 2024, we are sitting at over, right, 8 billion people in the world and over 3 billion people in the United States of America. Now, 83%, although you're saying this cannot be true, Renee, but it is. 83% of us are actually not setting goals at all. We're not setting goals at all. But however, we're looking on social media, on television, and we're looking at other people to whom we believe are successful, or like, oh man, I want to do that. Oh man, I want to get there. Oh man, it's almost like, when you were younger, a child, and you were watching TV and you seen like, an idol or, a football star. I'm going to be playing in the NFL one day. I'm going to be playing, in the National League of Baseball. I'm going to be you're saying these things as you're watching individuals on the TV. But how did they actually get there? That's the question. How did they actually get there? Where there's a certain type of personality, a certain type of work ethics, and guess what? It's all teachable, right? It's all teachable. But anyway, so there's 14% of us, right, that are actually making goals, but they're not writing them down, and they are unrealistic. We're going to talk about unrealistic goals as well. But there's 3% of people that actually write them down and that they're actually realistic. But are all 3% of people that are writing them down and their realistic goals, are they actually making their goals? Well, no. Why not? Well, because I would say a little bit over 1.5% of people do not have accountability partners. So they're not meeting all their goals. Now, the other 1.5% are meeting goals, but they're not meeting all of their goals. So how can I meet all of my goals? How can the 1.5% of people that are writing them down and their realistic goals, they had 10, but they're only making 6, and the other 4 they didn't make? Well, how can we make sure that happens? Well, you got to have an accountability partner. It is proven that those individuals that have accountability partners have a 65% success rate of meeting those goals. Well, what was the other percent that they didn't make those goals? Well, because people, like I said, we out here in these streets and we are living life. And life happens. Life happens. And so that's where the other percent lies, right? In not making those other goals. So what are unrealistic goals? Unrealistic goals are goals that are not attainable, they are not doable, or they are not practical. Again, unrealistic goals are goals that are not attainable, they are not doable, and they are not practical. So you got 83% of people out here not making goals at all. They just sitting watching everybody else, wishing, hoping, thinking, and praying. Wishing, hoping, thinking, and praying. I think there's a song like that. I don't know why, or maybe it was like an intro to a movie. I don't know, but I'm just thinking that that's what it is. I think that's why I started singing it. But then there's 14% of people that are actually making goals and writing them down, and then they are unrealistic. Well, that's because they're making goals that are not attainable. They're making goals that are not doable, and they're making goals that are not even practical at all. People, we got to make these goals, and we got to make sure that they are attainable, that we can do it, and that they're practical. So what are some examples of unrealistic goals? Y'all hear it? That's Muscle. That's our dog. He's actually, making himself be made known. And saying, hey, I'm here. Don't try to run up on me. Don't try to run up on this house. And so we hear him out here, doing what he does. So that's what you hear Muscle in the background. All right. So what are some examples? Well, some examples of unrealistic goals are running a marathon and you don't run at all. Okay, I think I said this in the previous episode when I was talking about working out and the things of that nature. You don't run. You don't run at all. You don't do a brisk walk. So why have you set a goal to run in a marathon for a cause, right? In a month or two, and you like, yeah, I'm firing up. I'm going to do this marathon or whatnot, and you don't run. No, boo. No, you're going to hurt yourself. You're going to hurt yourself physically and mentally. And then you might take other people down with you that was involved in some act. Well, why not? Why not? You love the cause, right? You want to get involved. You want to be involved. You can do something else. But what you don't want to do is, fool yourself, sign up for the marathon, go to the marathon, start off. You don't even make it a mile. And then you decide to cut through the woods and over the hills and through the woods and to grandma's house and get in a cab and then make it somewhere around the finish line and then go through the woods again to make sure that you're there. And then you at the finish line. You can't even believe that you won because you wasn't trying to run. You were just trying to finish. And then now, you got paparazzi and everything, and then you're going to get found out. You're going to get found out, right? Because the Uber driver going to tell, that was in my Uber. I dropped them off. No, you don't want to be that. You don't want to be that person, right? You don't want to be that person. You do not want to be that person. All right. So here it is. We are... Okay, again, like I told you, I don't know what I'm out here doing. So the next unrealistic goal example would be learning a new language in a few months. You're not going to learn a new language in a few months. I don't care if Rosetta, Claretta, Sharetta is your tutor. It's not going to happen. Okay, so you have to give yourself time to get there. It could be, hey, I'm going to learn a new phrase. And I'm going to use that phrase whenever I possibly can. Once a week, right? Or once every 2 weeks when I go out to eat, when I go to other, I'm going to learn the phrase, how much does this cost, right? And so there you go. But I'm talking about you're going to learn this new language in a few months. You not. Hello? Hello. All right, so setting deadlines for yourself and others when there is not enough time in the day to get it done. No. You are suffering, those that are around you, suffering yourself, everyone else. It's just not a good look. It's just not a good look. I've done it. Do not do it. Don't hurt yourself and don't hurt other people that's around you, right? Because I cannot put my yes on other people. I know what my yes is, but their yes might be that yes. Just because they're in the same organization that I am, just because they're in the same household that I am, again, their yes is not my yes. Me getting up in the morning is totally different than my husband when he gets up in the morning, right? Him getting up, his reasoning for getting up is not the same as mine. So I can't put that pressure on him the same that I'm putting on myself. It's not fair. What it does is it actually breaks down trust. It actually breaks down relationships. People don't want to be involved with you anymore. People don't want to, be around with you. People don't want to be in the organization anymore. People don't want to do it anymore. So don't be that person. Don't be me. Don't be me. I'm telling you, it don't work. It don't work. Okay. Get rich overnight. Okay, so you're going to go to sleep, you're going to wake up, and you're going to be rich. This is not Cinderella. I don't even think Cinderella went to sleep. Maybe Sleeping Beauty. I don't know. But anyway, so you're not going to sleep and you're not getting rich overnight, right? And so rich, okay, can have so many different meanings, right? But this one we're actually talking about monetarily. And so you're not, right? Like we all want to go to sleep and then wake up and be rich. That's the dream. I don't want to lift a finger. I don't want to do anything but close my eyes, lay down, and then I wake up and then I'm surrounded by the news crew and they're asking me how I did it. And I can just answer and say, all I did was go to sleep. All I did was go to sleep. I was wishing, I was thinking, and I was praying. And I woke up and wow, I did not know that I was the wealthiest person in the world. Okay, no, that's not happening. If you want a rich life, if you want a wealthy life, it's going to take time. It's going to take discipline for you to get there. It's not going to happen overnight. So that's unrealistic. Have a successful business in a month. Well, okay, again, success is different and it means different things to different people. So if it's success to you for a business and you're saying, okay, well, I got my name, I got my entity, I got my EIN number, clap, clap, bravo, bravo, salutations, great and wonderful. But most people, when they're talking about successful business, you're talking about cash flow. You're talking about you're on salary, right? You're on payroll, right? You are not in the negative. You are not putting out money, but you are getting in money. It's not going to happen in a few months. It's going to take time. Traveling to every city in the world. Not even professionals where they work with networks and things of that nature and they get free rides, whatever, to go to these different places, are not traveling every city in the world. It's just not possible to travel to visit, experience every city in the world. That's going to take time. Why not say, I'm going to go to 3 new places this year? Or 4, right? Once a quarter. I don't know. But majority of us are still out here in these streets working, and so you're not traveling to every city in the world. And so when you don't even get to one, you're beating yourself up about it. Oh, I didn't have time. I didn't have the money. Whatever, because it was unrealistic for you to even say that, right? Writing the best novel in a few months. Writing the best-selling novel in a few months. Hey, you want to write a book? Yay! But again, it's not going to be the best-selling novel in a few months. A famous author once said in an interview, He said, I was not writing a novel. I was writing a page a day. So if he was writing a page a day, right, in 1 year, he wrote 365 pages. Now, I believe the novel probably is more than that, but the point is that he said, I was writing a page a day. I didn't set out to write a novel. I didn't set out to be the bestseller. I didn't set out to do, all I set out to do was, I said I was going to write a page a day. Okay, people, write a page a day. If you want to write a book, and then when the release is done, when you know that you are finished, then you're finished. However months or years that may be, then you have wrote the book. You have released the words onto paper. It's not about being the best selling, right? It's about doing life and fulfilling what you are supposed to be doing. Right? Get a promotion in next week. Unless that was already in play, you're not getting a promotion in the next week. Again, work, discipline, maybe new skill sets, maybe networking with other people, maybe applying to a new job or whatever, maybe taking on new responsibilities. It's just not going to happen. So we have to make sure that having these unrealistic goals is not preventing us, right, from even making goals. Because when you don't do that, you fall back into the 83% of people that's not even making goals at all. You're just looking at people and saying, hey, that's great, that's wonderful, I wish I could do that. So when you were 10 and you were watching TV and saying, this is what I wanted to do, what were you willing to do? What were you willing to give up to get there? Because those people gave up some things. Those people sacrificed some things. Those people disciplined themselves for some things to get to where they wanted to go. Now, you might be a person that, see, unrealistic goals are not necessarily bad, right? But they don't work for everybody. Because sometimes people thrive off of unrealistic goals to push them to limits that they thought that were not possible. They're pushing themselves, but everybody is not like, those are self-starters, right? Those are result-driven people. Now, I'm a result-driven person. I'm a self-starter, and that's why I was putting my yes onto other people, which was not right. We got to get there. We got to do this, that, whatever. And I see the beginning, and I see the end. The in between, I don't care. We just got to get there. But the problem with that is that I did not take into account of the beautiful journey, right, of getting to the end. I missed so much in between because I was so focused on the end. If you focus on the day-to-day, right, of getting to your goal, then you are so much richer than you were of just focusing on the start and then focusing on the beginning. It's great that I started, right? It's great that I finished. But all the in-between intertwines into the fulfillment of the journey, right, that we have for ourselves. Because let me say this. I don't care what your age is. I don't care what your gender is, your identity, your sexuality, your economical status, what your zip code is, where you live, what your background is. We all have had the same question. Why am I here? What is my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing? We've all had that question. And so there lies why some of us do not make goals. Because we're still sitting, wishing, hoping, thinking, praying, about what could be. It could be. But you have to be willing to do what could be, right? So again, I cannot be the individual that's putting my yes onto other people. That does not give me the right to pressure other people. It doesn't give me the right to pressure my husband. It doesn't give me the right to pressure my children. It doesn't give me the right to pressure anybody that's around me. So if you are leading teams, or if you're leading your family, even leading yourself, you don't have the right to put that pressure onto other people. If you want to live in a life of pressure, right, of that, self-motivation, you just driven, you want to dig in, whatever, then go ahead and do that. But I also warn you, right, that's only going to last for so long, right, until your mental is not going to be able to take it. But again, do not put that onto someone else. Because what it does, again, it kind of forces, right, a gap in relationships in our home, right, relationships in our work environment, relationships in our community are broken because we're putting pressure on individuals, and it's not fair. So I encourage you, stop today. If you've already, put these goals out there to your team, put these goals out there to your family, and they're not realistic, take it off of them today. Go back, apologize, go back and say, you know what, we're going to do something a little bit different, whatever the case may be. And kind of rethink that thing, right? Rethink those goals and make them realistic. Because we don't want people to quit. We don't want people to, bow out gracefully or whatever and become the 83% that they're like, I ain't doing this, whatever. And we don't want them to become the 14%, right? The 14% who actually are setting goals, right? They're setting goals, but they're not meeting their goals because they're not writing their goals down. We know that if we write the vision and make it plain, right? Then we will not perish. So we got to make sure that we're writing them down, right? And that they're realistic on top of that. And then also accountability. Accountability is not control. Accountability is, hey, I wanted to, lose weight. And I'm not talking about 100 pounds in a week. It's not realistic. But I want to lose weight. And so accountability. I'm not going to make the person that I'm, out here with doing unhealthy habits my accountability person. No, I'm going to find someone, possibly a fitness trainer, someone who has trained, someone who has put in the work, someone who has the knowledge and skill base to make sure that I am meeting my goals in a realistic manner. And that takes discipline. It takes discipline and it takes some sacrifice. You know what? I'm not going to do Starbucks. Ooh, I done hit one right there with some of y'all. I'm not going to do Starbucks. I'm not going to do Dunkin' for this month. Or maybe I'm just going to go one time. Because I need to take that money that I was going to do Starbucks and I was going to do Dunkin's. And I'm going to use that money and I'm going to go get me a professional trainer. I'm going to go get me a professional coach. What? I'm going to go into counseling. What? So when you say you don't have it, oh no, boo, you got it. There's just some self-discipline and some self-sacrificing that has to be made. So maybe I can't have that new purse. Maybe I can't, go out this week. Maybe I can't take this trip this time. Maybe, I can't, ride out. But what I can do is I can up myself, whatever, and meet these goals. Because I'm self-disciplining myself and I'm putting it down so I can put my money into something that's going to show forth value. People that are successful, they are a personality of people that have decided that they are going to learn something new. Oh yes, we got to learn something new. We're going to meet them goals. We got to learn something new if we're going to get to those results. We have to unlearn what we thought that we knew. We have to unlearn what we thought that we knew. We have to put aside and throw out those thoughts, right, of way of doing things. Oh, I already know how to bake a cake. Okay, but you don't know how to bake this cake. You don't know how to bake this cake right here. Like I told you from the beginning, I have never been this way before. You have never been this way before. So why is it that you're trying to do what you were doing previously when you didn't get the results? No, I'm going to do something new. And guess what? I'm going to connect with someone that has been there before, has some results, has a track record that can show me how to do it. It's going to take discipline. It's going to take relearning. It's going to take some money, boo. It's going to take some sacrifice. You got it. I'm telling you, you got to relook at it. I'm telling you, because you're not going to get to your results if you are not willing to learn. And you got to start small. In all your goal setting, you want to start small. You want to build in flexibility because why? Life happens. I could be training for the marathon. I could be training, right, to lose weight. I could be training, right, to go back to school. I could be, goal setting or whatever to, have a successful business or whatnot. And then I get pregnant. I was going to go travel the world. I was going to take 6 months off and I was going to go travel the world, making sure that I was, in a place, whatever. And then I get pregnant. Or my parent gets sick. Or, someone that's really dear to me and I have to come back. Life happens and we have to build in that flexibility. So now I'm not able to crush it, every day or 3 days a week because I'm sick. I'm throwing up. This trimester is not going well for me. So I can't do it. Or whatever. Or the organization went another way and I lost this job. And so now I got to be flexible enough to rediscover what else it is that I'm supposed to be doing. So I might not be, I can't take that trip this quarter. I said I was going to do it, but it can't happen right now. Because now I got to reset and look at my finances. Life happens. We out here doing life and life happens. We don't know what tomorrow will bring. We don't know what next week will bring. But that's why the point of having flexibility. Give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. Okay, you said I'm going to go to the gym Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right? Or I'm going to go to the gym Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever. Whatever you said you were going to do. You didn't make it one day. That is not the time for you to throw up your hands and be like, you know what, I didn't make it. Oh, I'm just not cut out for it. I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not going to gym. Me and Jim, we're broken up. No, you and Jim are not broken up. Give yourself grace. Go back the next day when you say that you were going to go. And then let your accountability partner know why you did not make it that day. I mean, they're going to ask anyway. If you got a fitness trainer, they're going to ask, hey, what happened to you? And I text you, whatever, blah, blah. And then you're going to say what happened. And I'm like, okay, cool, got it. Okay, now what can we do next time probably to try to eliminate? If there was something that could be eliminated, right? Something that could have been worked around, whatever the case may be. Because sometimes, again, when things happen, there are things that can be altered, right? That flexibility to still get us moving, to keep us moving forward. Not for us to stay stagnant and stop doing something, but for us to continue to move forward. This is what this is about. So I hope, right, that we can get to, as people, that we can get to a place where we can see that doing life together is more profitable than doing it alone. You don't have to be the 83%. Let's get into the 14%. Not only that, let's get into the 3% and make it and grow even more. Let's double that. Let's triple that. Let's quadruple that. But we can do that if we're doing life together. Accountability is not control. So if there is someone that's controlling you, then that's not your accountability partner. If there's someone that is demeaning you, that is not your accountability partner. If there is someone that does not know this way, then that's not your accountability partner. Oh, what you doing? You suck. You only did 10 push-ups. Okay, come on now. That's a little harsh, right? Like, you don't need that type of person in your corner. Accountability partners is cheering you on. Mentors are cheering you on. Coaches are cheering you on. Come on, you can do this. Let's go. Come on, pop them out. Okay, you did 10. Oh, awesome. Keep doing them 10. Yes. Your body will tell you when you can take more. Right? That accountability partner is pushing you. You can do one more. Oh, you did 10. You did 11. Let's go. That's what accountability partners do. Right? And you can do it. Professional coaches can help you get there. Again, you saying you ain't got it. No, you got it. Give up something. There is a sacrifice that must be made for you to get to the results that you want. If you are going to do the same thing that you did last year and think that you're going to get a different results, then you are only fooling yourself, and you are actually a foolish person. You are insane, actually, if you think that you are going to get different results doing the same thing. So, hey, we out here doing life. I encourage you again to go set realistic goals. Get yourself an accountability partner. Hey, and let 2024 be a different year than none other. And let's finish and let's experience life through it, and let's finish strong, right? So remember, leading is teachable. I love you. You can't do nothing about it. Peace.